Good day everyone. Our topic for today is all about measure of variability. So let's start. Now consider these two students. We have Aba and Benny. And ito yung grades nila sa kanilang subjects. Now yung tendency is mamimili tayo ng isa sa kanila para mag-represent sa isang competition. And yung mga questions sa competition na yun is general knowledge. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng subject ay pwedeng maitanong. So, syempre, pipili tayo ng mas magaling na student. And the question is, sino sa kanila yung much better? Una natin kukunin dito is yung kanilang average. Syempre, yung mas mataas yung average, much better. Now, once na kinuha natin yung average nila o yung mean, makukuha natin ay 86. Yung mean nila parehas ay 86. So, ibig sabihin, pantay sila ng average. Now, susunod natin kukunin is yung median. Pag kinuha natin yung median, parehas na naman silang 85.5. Yung ibig sabihin, same sila ng mean, 86, same sila ng median, 85.5. Yung last step natin is yung mode. Nung kinuha natin yung mode, parehas silang 85. Now, tatlong pare-parehas yan. Parehas sila ng mean, parehas sila ng median, parehas sila ng mode. And the final question is, which of them is much better? So, ano yung pagbabasehan natin ngayon? And that's the big question. Dito ngayon papasok yung measure of variability. Now, ano yung measure of variability? Variability refers to how spread your data is. And the term variability, spread, dispersion are synonyms and refer to how spread out a distribution. Now, meron tayong 5 klase na measure of variability na ginagamit. Yung una, we have the range, interquartile range, the mean absolute deviation, the variance, and the standard deviation. Actually, magpo-focus tayo madalas dun sa ating standard deviation and the variance. Kasi later sa ating discussion, mas madalas nyo siyang makikita compare dito sa mga naunang tatlo. Okay? Now, once na makakuha tayo ng mababang data or mababang value ng ating variability, anong ibig sabihin nun? A low value tends to cluster tightly around the center. Ibig sabihin, pag mas maliit yung kanilang variability, mas dikit-dikit yung bawat scores. And much better yon. Also, pag nakakuha tayo ng mataas na number, so a high value signifies that they tend to fall further away or simply scattered yung ating bawat score or layo-layo sila. Okay, so ang pipiliin natin syempre yung mas malapit sa isa't isa, yung low value. And before we start, dun muna tayo sa definition and how to get those measures of variability. Simulan natin dun sa number 1, which is the range. So ano nga ba yung range? Range is the simplest measure of variability. Paano nga ba siya kino-compute? So it's simply the highest score minus the lowest score. Nagawa natin siya before, kung natatandaan niyo yung range, yung mataas, yung max value minus the minimum value. Okay, the second one, the interquartile range or simply IQR para mas medyo maikse. Ano naman yung IQR? So yung IQR is the range of the middle 50% of the scores in a distribution. Yung middle 50%. Paano siya kino-compute? So yung IQR or interquartile range is equal to the third quartile minus the first quartile. In notation, ito ay Q3 minus Q1. So don't worry, mamaya meron tayong mga example kung paano yan kukuhanin. Next, pangatlo. Mean absolute deviation. It is the average distance between each data point and the mean. Actually, yung 3, 4, 5 is almost the same thing or related sila sa isa't isa. Ito yung formula paano kukunin si mean absolute deviation. So, mean absolute deviation or MAD is equal to the summation of the absolute value of x minus bar x or the mean all over n o yung ating number of sample. And yung pang-4 and pang-5, almost related dyan sa isa't isa. When we say variance, variance is defined as the average squared distance of the scores from the mean. So, almost the same thing, right? And when we say standard deviation, it is defined as the average distance of the score from the mean. So, anong pinakaiba nila? Yung variance naka-squared and yung standard deviation naman ay wala. Ito yung formula to find the standard deviation and the variance. So, we have S or the standard deviation is equal to the square root of the summation of x minus var x or the mean, then quantity squared all over n minus 1. Explain ko mamaya ba't naging ganito yung formula. Another question is, sir, asaan dyan yung variance? No, kapag in-square natin yan both side, matatanggal yung square root, magiging s squared yung nasa left-hand side, and yung matitira yung nasa loob, which is the summation of x minus bar x squared all over n minus 1. And that's the variance. So, magkamukha lang sila. Okay? Yung nasa loob, ayun yung variance. Pag kinuha mo yung square root, and that's the standard deviation. Okay, so let's have some example para mas maintindihan natin. For the following groups of numbers, calculate the range, IQR, or the interquartile range, the MAD, or the mean absolute deviation, the variance, and the standard deviation. So, meron tayong dalawang example dito. Simulan natin sa number 1. Solution. Una, ang kailangan natin gawin is i-arrange siya in order, increasing order. So, dun tayo sa pinakamaliit na value, papataas. Or simply, gawin natin siyang array form. Okay? Now, we can compute for the range. So, paano ba kinocompute yung range? The maximum value, or the highest score, minus the lowest score. We have 14. Highest minus the lowest is 6. 14 minus 6 is equals to 8. Therefore, yung range natin is equal to 8. Ganun lang kasimple. Sabi nga sa definition, range is the simplest measure of variability. But, kung titingnan natin mabuti, hindi natin nagamit yung ibang scores natin. Nakuha? Yung mga nasa gitna, hindi natin siya nagamit. Ang ginamit lang natin dito sa range is yung una at saka yung huli. Okay? So, let's move on. Kaya lumabas tong pangalawa, yung second natin, which is the interquartile range. Paano ba kinukuha si interquartile range? Ito ay may kinalaman sa pagkuha ng median. Kaya nga siya naka-arrange. So, kunin natin muna yung median. So, paano ba kinukuha yung median? Yung middle score. So, punta tayo sa gitna. Since tig-apat sila, yung median, since dalawa to, i-add natin yung 8 and 9, then di-divide sa 2. So, yung ating median, or yung Q2, hindi natin kailangan yan. Ang kailangan natin is yung Q3 and Q1. So, by the way, yung Q2 is equal to our median, which is 8.5. Now, paano natin makukuha yung Q1 at saka yung Q3? Punta tayo dun sa kaliwang bahagi, yung natirang apat na number. So, we have 6, 7, 8, and 8. Now, dito sa apat, kukuhanin natin ngayon yung median ng apat na yun. Pag kinuha natin yung median, dito yung sa gitna ng 7 and 8. Now, since dalawa sila, add, then divided by 2. So, we get Q1, ito yung Q1, is equal to 7.5. Now, paano kukunin yung Q3? Dito naman tayo sa apat na natira sa bandang kanan. So, kukunin natin ulit yung median ng apat na yan. So, pag kinuha natin yung median, so nandito yan sa pagitan ng 10 and 11. So, add and divided by 2, we get Q3 is equal to 10.5. So, meron tayong Q1 at meron na tayong Q3. Now, paano kukunin yung interquartile range? We have Q3 minus Q1, or simply 10.5 minus 7.5, or simply yung ating IQR is equal to 3, and we're done. Now, yung problem naman dito sa ating interquartile range, ang kinonsider lang natin, kung mapapansin, is yung middle 50% ng ating data. So, paano naman yung tig 25% nung kaliwat kanan nila? Okay? Kaya lumabas yung pangatlo nating measure of variability, which is the mean absolute deviation. So, paano ba kinocompute si mean absolute deviation? Ito yung formula niya, binigay sa atin kanina. We have the summation of x minus bar x all over n. So, dito gagawa tayo ng table. Ihilera natin yung ating mga data values. Next, ang kailangan natin is x minus the mean. So, syempre, kailangan hanapin muna natin yung kanyang average or yung mean. Now, paano ba kinukuha yung mean? Add natin lahat and then divide natin kung ilan lahat sila. And we get mean is equal to 9.125. Next step natin, sa ating column is we have x minus bar x, o yung data natin minus the mean. So, ano yung mangyayari doon? We have 10 minus 9.125. Again, 10 minus 9.125. And we get 0.875. Sunod natin, 6 minus 9.125. And we get negative 3.125. Sunod tayo, 7 minus 9.125. And we get negative 2.125. And gagawin natin yan hanggang makarating tayo sa 8 minus 9.125 or simply negative 1.125. Next, yung next column natin ay lalagyan lang natin siya ng absolute value kasi sa formula kailangan natin yung may absolute value. So, paano nga ba pag kinuha natin yung absolute value? Ibig sabihin, lahat yan ay magiging positive. Walang matitirang negative. Okay? So, lahat yan ay magiging positive. Yung negative 3.125 magiging positive. At lahat ng negative magiging positive. Lahat ng positive ay copy lang. Next, kailangan nating kuhanin yung sum kasi meron tayong nakikita dito yung summation of. So, kunin lang natin yung sum ng 0.875, 3.125 hanggang makarating tayo sa 1.125. And we get the summation of the absolute value of x minus bar x is equal to 15.25. Now, we're ready to find the mean absolute deviation. Substitute na lang natin to. We have the summation of the absolute value of x minus bar x. We have 15.25 all over. Ilan lahat sila? Yan ay 8. Now, divide lang natin. 15.25 divided by 8. We have 1.91. And that's the mean absolute deviation. And yung 1.91 is the average distance of the scores to our mean. The average distance. Okay? Now, let's move on to variance and the standard deviation. So again, when we say variance and standard deviation, it is the average distance of the score to the mean. Paano ba natin kinukuha yung distance ng dalawang number? So una, ang ginagawa natin ay kinukuha natin yung difference nila. Yun yung distance ng dalawang number. Since, pag kinuha natin yung distance nila, posibleng magkaroon niya ng negative or positive. Especially, kapag yung ating data ay mas mababa dun sa mean, mag-negative talaga siya. Hindi kasi lahat ng data natin ay mas mataas sa mean. Merong mas mababa at merong mas mataas. Kaya pag nag-subtract tayo, pag kine-negative. Now, ano yung gagawin natin para siya maging positive? Bukod sa absolute value. And yung answer is, i-squared natin siya. Kasi lahat ng number na naka-squared ay nagiging positive. That's why sa formula natin, magkakaroon tayo ng raised to 2. Okay? Next, kinukuha natin dito yung average distance. Yan yung distance na naka-squared. Kukuha natin yung average. So, anong kailangan natin gawin pag kumukuha ng average? Kailangan natin silang i-add lahat. So, pag in-add natin lahat, ang notation natin doon is yung summation. Nakuha? Next, we need to overestimate yung ating standard deviation kasi usually yung ating data na nakukuha is yung mga sample. So, kailangan nating i-overestimate yung makukuha nating standard deviation. So, ang tendency, kailangan natin siyang i-divide sa n-1. Kasi, once na binawas natin denominator ng isang fraction, ang tendency, tataas yung value niya. For example, kung meron tayong 12 over 4, ang 12 over 4 ay 3. Okay? Bawasan natin yung 4 sa denominator, gawin natin 3. 12 divided by 3 will become 4. So, kung mapapansin, pag nagbawas tayo ng isa, tumataas yung ating value. So, ganun din yung ating standard deviation. Kailangan nating i-overestimate kasi nga, ang ating data na nakukuha dito is usually mga sample. Now, since nag-squared tayo, para makuha lang natin yung pinaka-value na kailangan natin kunin yung kanyang square root. And that's the formula for the standard deviation. So, hindi lang basta natin yan ibinigay sa inyo na ito yung formula, gamitin nyo yan. So, merong pinanggalingan yung ating formula kung ba't siya naging ganyan. Okay? So, let's move on. Gawa tayo ng ating table. Ang kailangan natin is yung difference ng ating data sa ating mean. So, kailangan ulit natin yung x minus bar x. So, paano to? 10 minus 9.125. We get 0.875. Nagawa natin to kanina. So, continue lang ulit natin. Hanggang makarating tayo dun sa 8 minus 9.125. And we get negative 1.125. Next column natin, kailangan lahat yan ay maging positive. So, bukod sa absolute value, i-squared natin siya. So, kailangan natin yung x minus bar x, quantity squared. So, yung 0.875 i-multiply sa sarili, magiging 0.7656. Dito, kung mapapansin nyo, gumagamit ako ng 4 decimal places. Pero kung kaya nyong isulat lahat yung decimal places, kung 5 lang naman yan, 6 lang naman yan, kasya naman dun sa papel nyo, isulat nyo na lahat. Okay? So, much better yon. Nakuha? Huwag na huwag kayong mag-round off hanggang nandito pa lang tayo sa step sa table. Mag-round off tayo kapag nandun na tayo sa final answer. Tandaan nyo mabuti yan. So, next. Negative 3.125 multiply sa sarili. So, negative 3.125 multiply sa negative 3.125, we get 9.7656. And gagawin natin yun sa lahat. Ibig sabihin, lahat yan ay magiging positive. Okay? Next, anong kailangan natin dun sa squared difference? Kailangan natin siyang i-add kasi meron ditong summation. So, add natin siya and we get 44.875. We are now ready to find the standard deviation and the variance. Substitute lang natin. We have 44.875 all over 8 minus 1. 8 yung ating number of sample. Now, simplify muna natin yung nasa loob ng radical sign. 44.875 divided by 7 and we get 6.4107. Now, kunin natin yung square root niyan. We get S is equal to 2.53. And ito yung ating standard deviation. Okay? Ito yung average distance ng bawat score sa ating mean. Since ito ay standard, ito yung normal na makikita natin dun sa ating mga susunod na lesson. Okay? Now, ano naman yung variance? Yung variance, yun yung nasa loob ng square root, which is 6.4107 or S squared. Kasi nga, yung variance is the squared deviation. Okay? So, tandaan mabuti. Ito ay para sa standard deviation at yung naka-squared, yung ating variance. And we're done. Now, let's move on to the next. Number 2. So, ano kailangan gawin? Arrange muna natin siya in order. Next, to find the range, highest minus lowest score. So, we have 70 minus 10 or simply 60. And that's it. Next, kunin natin yung interquartile range. Kunin natin muna yung median. Yung median natin ay nandun sa gitna since yung bilang nila ay odd number. Kasi ito ay 7 lang. So, yung median natin must be 15. Or yung ating Q2. Now, bakit ko siya binilugan? Now, kapag yung ating median o yung Q2 ay kasama dun sa ating distribution, isa-set aside muna natin siya. Okay? Now, punta na tayo sa Q1. Sa Q1 naman, hindi natin sasama yung 51. Ang isasama natin ay itong tatlo na naiwan dun sa kaliwa. We have 10, 14, and 35. So, napakadaling kunin kung ano yung Q1. Siyempre, yung nasa gitna, which is 14. So, yung Q1 natin must be 14. Next, yung Q3 naman, kukunin natin yung median itong tatlo sa kanan. So, tatlo lang yan. So, malamang yung nasa gitna, which is 60. Yun yung ating Q3. Therefore, yung ating IQR is equal to 60 minus 14 or simply 46. And we're done. Now, let's move on to the mean absolute deviation. Gawa ulit tayo ng table. Now, kunin natin yung mean. Yung average natin is add natin lahat and divide natin sa 7. And we get 42. Next, kailangan natin ng column para sa x minus the mean. Paano gagawin doon? 54, yung x natin, minus yung mean natin na 42. 54 minus 42, we get 12. 35 minus 42, we get negative 7. 10 minus negative 42, we have negative 32, and so on and so forth. Next, ano ba kailangan natin dito? I-absolute value natin or simply lahat ng negative magiging positive. Ganun lang kasimple yan. Next, kailangan natin i-add kasi meron tayong summation. We get 134. Now, pwede natin kunin yung MAD o yung mean absolute deviation. 134 all over 7 or simply 19.41. And we're done. Now, let's proceed to variance and the standard deviation. Again, when we say variance and standard deviation, it is the average distance of the score from the mean. Okay, so ito yung ating formula. Gawa ulit tayo ng table. Kailangan natin ng column para sa x minus the bar x. 54 minus 42. Nagawa natin yan kanina. Bali, kopyahin na lang natin dun sa ating MAD. Next step is squared natin siya. Kasi yung formula natin, kailangan natin ay naka-squared, hindi naka-absolute value. So, kaya natin squared para maging positive. Squared natin. 12 squared is 144. Negative 7 squared is 49. Negative 32 squared is 1024 and so on and so forth. Next, kailangan nating i-add kasi meron tayong summation dito. Makukuha natin ay 3,190. Next, pwede natin kunin yung standard deviation and the variance. I-substitute lang natin. We have the square root of 3190 all over 7 minus 1. Simplify muna natin. 3,190 divided by 6, we get 513.6667 approximately. Kung mapapansin, habang ako ay nandun sa process ng pagkuha ng value, hanggang 4 na decimal place yung aking kinoconsider. Pero kung kaya nyo mas madami, or kaya nyo isulat ng buo, much better. Okay? Now, getting the square root of 515.6667, we get 23.06. And this is our standard deviation. Now, ano naman yung variance? Again, yung variance yung nasa loob ng square root, which is 531.667, and that is our variance. And we're done.